Hello and welcome to WION special on the Pakistan elections 2018. I'm Aisha Sindhu. Today, as we continue our special build-up to the Pakistani elections, we're taking a closer look at one of the key players in the polls, Imran Khan. Now, some interesting numbers are emerging when it comes to the cricketer turned politician and his party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or the PTI. As the momentum builds for the July 25th elections, two national public opinion surveys indicate that the PTI could come up trumps on voting day. But at whose cost? Take a look at this report.
25 जुलाई को वो दिन है जब इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान अपनी तकदीर बदलेगा।
Could it be advantage Imran on voting day, July 25th? Two national public opinion surveys, one by Gallup Pakistan and the other by Pulse Consultant, suggest it could be so. The Gallup survey puts PMLN ahead with a rating of 26% and the PTI close behind at 25%. The Pulse survey has Imran leading with 30% and PMLN at 27%. Gallup has projected 20% undecided voters, Pulse showing 9%. Gallup projects 26% of undecided voters could vote for PMLN and 25% for PTI. The Pulse survey shows 30% voting PTI and 27% PMLN. Overall, the surveys suggest PMLN is the preferred party among voters in Punjab. The PTI is the preferred party in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, while the PPP is strong in Sindh. It confirms the impression that Pakistan's national parties may have little appeal beyond their provincial boundaries, but Imran is clearly not buying that argument. His party people have confirmed he'll be contesting from no less than 5 constituencies, including Karachi, from where he has already filed his papers. Imran has said in the past that he intends to challenge the MQM or Muttahida Qawmi movement on its home turf. Other constituencies could be Peshawar, Lahore, Rawalpindi and Mianwali, from where he had contested in 2013. His PTI is fielding the largest number of candidates, contesting 244 of 272 National Assembly constituencies and 522 of 577 Provincial Assembly constituencies. The party said the high number of candidates was possible because of electoral alliances resulting in seat adjustments in different constituencies. Imran appears to have gone the extra mile, announcing a new list of candidates for the National and Provincial Assembly seats last week after listening to the grievances of the party workers. He has also fielded the largest number of women candidates, 14, in an attempt to reach out to a key segment of the electorate. Imran is one politician who has kept the focus on corruption and the need for transparency in public life. Both issues appear to resonate with voters. Whether he can translate his moral high ground into ensuring a decisive vote on election day is the question. The buzz is he has the army on his side, which has also contributed to a perception among nearly half of the electorate that polling this time may neither be free nor fair. Bureau Report, WION.
Joining me on the broadcast from Gurugram is Strategic Affairs Analyst Sushant Sareen. Sushant, thank you for making time for WION. Does it seem like the stars are aligned in favor of Imran Khan this time around?
I don't know about the stars, but I think, since Imran Khan likes to use cricketing analogies to explain his politics, his knowledge does not extend beyond the cricketing field. Let me use a cricketing analogy. Even if he wins, it will be a fixed match because this match is very clearly a fixed match. He might still not come out on tops, but for that we'll have to wait up till 25th or 26th July. If he is now appearing to be in the pole position, then it is because it's clearly a very fixed match.
Okay, so despite it being, as you're pointing out with that cricket analogy, I'll extend it a little further. What if there is a bouncer in the works that is going to come his way? I'm talking about the state of Punjab. Do you think that that is going to be perhaps one of the areas where he's going to face a bit of a problem?
Yeah, Punjab is in many ways going to be the battleground. With 141 seats, more than 50% of the seats, the directly elected seats, Punjab is the state which is going to decide who is going to form the next government. Now, in the last elections, the PMLN had swept throughout the province. This time around, if you break down Punjab into three segments, which is North, Central and South, then in South Punjab, the PMLN has suffered very serious reverses, because many of its candidates on the very last day have surrendered the PMLN ticket. So on a number of constituencies, they don't even have a candidate. Many other, very influential people who were part of the PMLN have deserted the party, some under intimidation, some because they felt that the PTI has a better chance. There's been a lot of jiggery-pokery on that. But really, in about the 46 odd seats of South Punjab, the PMLN will have a bit of a tough time. The battleground, however, is going to be Central and North Punjab, which is the PMLN bastion. And out there, the party has more or less held together. Now, it will entirely depend on a number of factors, including whether the PMLN is able to get its campaign together.
Right.
In Nawaz Sharif's absence, Shahbaz Sharif, who isn't the most charismatic figure, hasn't really been able to galvanize the party in a way that, there is a buzz around the party. And if Nawaz is thrown into prison, as is most likely on Friday, then whether that will generate the kind of sympathy and make up for the lackluster campaign led by Shahbaz Sharif is difficult to say. But if it does, and he gets the halo of a martyr, or he is able to sell the impression that he's being victimized, then you never know that the voting might actually go in favor of Nawaz Sharif.
And there is also that factor of Kulsum Nawaz. She's been ailing for a while now. People are talking about the fact that that might also generate a wave of sympathy for the Sharif family, despite the fact that they've faced some very serious allegations when it comes to corruption.
Yeah, those allegations are very much there, but I think the verdict which is going to come out against Nawaz Sharif had been written months back. I think the trial was a sham trial, simply carried out to convey that some kind of a fair trial process has been undertaken. But otherwise, I think it had been decided long time back that he's going to be thrown in prison. Now the point is that if his wife, who is very critical, and if she passes away while he is incarcerated before the elections, and her body is brought back and he is allowed to attend the funeral, and there are the television cameras also, although I think we must recognize that the PMLN has also been muzzled on the electronic media. There are clear instructions which are being issued to the so-called independent media of Pakistan to not give them the kind of coverage they would normally get in this kind of an election. So whether they get that saturation coverage in the event Kulsum Nawaz passes away and her funeral is held, and then Nawaz makes some political speeches, and this happens just a few days before the election, who knows, it could very well turn the tide against Imran Khan. Let's also remember, Aisha, I think, and that is important, I think the focus has just been so much on the National Assembly elections that not enough focus is being put on the Provincial Assembly elections, which are going to be held along with the National Assembly elections. And who knows that even if Imran Khan comes out on tops in the National Assembly, the PMLN, which is a very formidable election machinery, is able to capture the province of Punjab. That will completely change the complexion of politics. It will obviously take you back to the 1990s with the rough and tumble and the instability which is inherent in that kind of a setup. So I think there are going to be interesting times. I think it's the Chinese curses on Pakistan. that they are going to be living in interesting times.
I think it's not lost on anyone that this is going to be a very compelling contest. Stay with me, Sushant. I did have the opportunity to speak with the PTI spokesperson, Fawad Chaudhry, a while earlier, and I asked him about the fact that, Nawaz Sharif is not in the mix. There are corruption allegations aplenty against the Sharif family. And, of course, there's the factor of the weakened PPP. And if the circumstances, therefore, augur a cakewalk for Imran Khan, this is what he told us. Listen in.
Well, inshallah, it will be a cakewalk for us. And this has happened after 25 years of a miserable rule by both parties. This is not, in fact, if you see Imran Khan's struggle, that is spread on 22 years. So it's not really a cakewalk in terms of his struggle. But yes, this time Imran Khan is obviously much above than the rest of the political parties and political leadership. And frankly, it's all related to the bad governance and the corruption and the way they governed country for the last 25 years. That has, paved the way for a change in Pakistan, and inshallah Imran Khan will lead that change.